The flight the man was on crashed in a major air disaster. Most passengers were killed. Only 5 people survived. The airline therefore arranged for psychologists, planning to provide them with psychological counseling. At this time, a psychologist named Claire received a call from her mentor, informed that the airline had arranged for her to counsel the survivors. So Claire went to the hospital. The first survivor she met was Eric. He was surprisingly cheerful, nothing like someone who had been through a disaster. He even flirted with Claire during their conversation. Before leaving, he asked Claire if she had a sister.
Do you have a sister?
Yes.
You should call her.
What?
You're better now than later. You could step out in front of a bus or something, and then what?
Claire felt deeply offended. She and her sister had always gotten along well, but after a quarrel, they hadn't been in touch for the past few months. Late at night she tried calling but no one answered. The next day, Claire gathered the other survivors, only to find that when discussing their memories of the crash, they all had varying degrees of memory loss. The bearded guy remembered hearing an explosion before the plane crashed, but was opposed by 2 others, who insisted the plane had suddenly lost control without warning, while the last one couldn't remember anything at all. This left Claire a bit at a loss, and just then, a mysterious figure stood outside the window, seemingly monitoring their every move. Realizing he had been discovered, the mysterious figure left in a hurry. Claire then went to see the airline executives, but they said the investigation was complete. The crash was caused by the pilot's operational error, denying the explosion the bearded guy had mentioned, believing it might be an illusion from PTSD. But Claire thought there was more to it. When she glanced at the other's briefcase, the executive immediately covered the documents. At that moment Claire realized they were definitely hiding something, but her only responsibility was the survivor's psychological counseling, so she didn't pay too much attention. Since Eric refused to attend the group session, Claire had to counsel him individually, but Eric was resistant to talking about the crash. He only remembered that when the accident happened, strong winds kept blowing in his face. Then he found himself on the beach where the plane crashed. He couldn't recall anything else. Instead, he was more interested in Claire personally. Claire maintained a professional distance. When reporting to her mentor, she noticed that Eric had a sharp intuition. He could not only guess her living habits, but also that she had a sister. During the group counseling the next day, the bearded guy was nowhere to be seen, and one of the others also began to resist treatment. Helpless Claire had to drive home. Just then a survivor hurried to find her, and begged her to take him away. It turned out he had discovered he was being followed. Claire recognized him as the mysterious figure who had been monitoring them. The man believed it was most likely the airline trying to cover up the truth, because in the past few days, he had gradually regained his memories, which were very similar to what the bearded guy had mentioned. The cause of the crash was definitely not operational error. The company had records of mechanical failures last year. They might be threatening the survivors to cover up the truth. The man felt he was in danger. Claire could only comfort him and take him home, but she also began to doubt the airline. On this day, Claire visited Eric again, and found him painting at home. He invited Claire to join him. Claire also hoped to learn more about him through this. Suddenly the barking of dogs outside made Eric very irritable. He rushed to the road, and saw a stray dog in front of him, as if he had seen it before. While they stared at each other in silence, Eric didn't notice a car approaching from a distance at all.